What's going on, everybody? Adam here for another episode of GoGetEmSports Live, episode 5. My co-host Shane will be here shortly. Today we're going to talk about NBA playoffs, Game 7, Nets and Bucks tonight, obviously. And some crazy NBA offseason started already. So we'll get into that. Some more free picks for you guys, and let's get it. What's up, guys? This episode of GoGetEmSports is brought to you by PickCity.com. Your next bet is with us at Pick City. Every league, every bet, we got you covered at PickCity.com. All right, guys, it's time for me to welcome in my co-host, Shane Williamson.
Hey.
What's up? What's going on?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Tonight's gonna be insane. Game 7, big time.
All right, Game 7, Bucks Nets. What do you got, bud?
I think a lot of people are going to think this game goes one way, and I'm thinking the exact opposite way. A lot of people think the the Nets are taking this, but in a past episode, I said I had the Bucks in 6. Well, it's in Game 7. I'm still riding the Bucks for one key reason, and it's James Harden. He's not himself. He's like 25% of himself. He's literally out there just to be a decoy. And if Drew Holiday can realize that and not just try to pull up for jumpers in front of his face and drive past him, because Harden, there's no way for Harden to keep up with him with that bum ankle, the Bucks should have this. And the Nets have their lineup is legitimately built to be all the stars doing their work and then the role players doing kind of minimal effort. They have one of their 1.5 stars, 1.1 a quarter
me
star.
about James Harden, and we talked about this before, like in person, and like we've known each other for a while. We've talked about Giannis and the Bucks situation. I don't trust this team in the Bucks. I don't trust Giannis to come out strong Game 7. I think it's gonna be a close game, and so does Vegas. I think the spread's at -1.5. I expect it to move either way before the game starts tonight. Could be out to a 3-point spread. I'm rolling with Kevin Durant tonight, and I'm taking the Nets. It's not a solidified pick for me yet, but I am leaning towards Brooklyn tonight. Just because of Giannis. I mean, he hasn't really showed up in Game 7 before in the playoffs. He hasn't really come through for his team much. He does put up numbers. He's going to put up his 30 and 10, right? He's going to do that. It's just down the stretch, can he come through? Can he make free throws? Can he make shots when needed against his team who we've seen make 3 after 3 after 3 after 3, who've come down and made shots when they needed? With Kevin Durant, I mean, we saw in Game 5 what he can do down the stretch. I mean, we saw that. So can Giannis and this team keep up with him? Not even the team? I don't know. We'll wait and see. But another aspect of this is Drew Holiday, like you said. Drew Holiday, for them to win tonight. And he doesn't even need to really worry about Harden that much. He needs to worry about him. He cannot go 1 from 10 from the 3-point line like last night. You cannot be the third scorer on this winning team, a good team, and shoot 1 for 10 from the 3-point line. You just can't, especially in a Game 7 and do or die game on the road in Brooklyn. And I don't know if I trust. I think I trust the individuals on Brooklyn who aren't maybe better players, but I think I trust them more than players on the Milwaukee Bucks tonight.
Who specifically are you trusting on the Nets besides Durant?
I think Blake comes out and has a big game tonight. I think Blake,
okay, because if you were to say Joe Harris, if you said Joe Harris, I was about to leave.
I think Joe Harris needs to have a big game tonight, but I just the trust factor. He kind of reminds me of Drew Holiday a little bit. You cannot go out there and shoot 1 for 15 from 3. Joe Harris
doing that like the entire series.
Joe Harris and Blake need to combine for about 40 points tonight.
That's not going to happen.
I think it could.
I don't. It's Drew Holiday and James Harden are the critical things here. Because if Harden's just sitting there shooting threes like he has the past 2 games, because he's not going to try to drive to the paint with that ankle. If he can just be the playmaker that we all know he is, then the Nets have a real good shot of winning this game. But Drew Holiday, he was pissing me off last game. You have this dude that's on 1 foot. Drive on him. Don't just pull up for like a step back in his face. You can clearly get by him, and there's no one in the Nets that's going to stop you in the paint. I'm sorry, but if you think Blake Griffin's just going to stop you in the paint every time, he's not 2012 Blake Griffin anymore.
No, but I think Blake can still spread the floor like he has shown. I think Jeff Green needs to have a big game tonight too. Even though it's kind of hard to say Jeff Green have a big night. What is that? I think
he had that Game 5 big game.
He had a great game. Can you do it again? It would be huge for this team if he can. Of course, Kyrie's out tonight because he's a baby.
Wow. Okay, so guy's injured. And he's a baby.
He's not even tested it out though. I mean, he must be really.
He's in a boot.
Yeah,
he's in a boot.
But James Harden, we've seen him not perform well in Game 7s. Plus, he's hurt. I mean, it's going to be tough for the Nets. This team can't lose tonight.
If
Well,
when we get the free picks, there's going to be something that happens.
Is this worse than when Miami lost to Dallas?
No.
Okay.
Because they're dealing with injuries.
Okay.
It's different.
Speaking of injuries, do you think Kawhi is hurt bad?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he might have the ACL.
Yeah. And when I saw the injury the next morning, because I wasn't really watching the game too much, I forgot what I was doing. When I saw that injury and they said a slight knee injury, I've seen a lot of ACLs hurt before, and that looked exactly like one. That looked like Derrick Rose, part 1. Going up for a shot, going up for a layup, and he stops what he's doing off the acceleration off the foot, and his knee just went totally sideways, and it looked like it buckled a little bit, and that just looks like a fucking ACL, man.
Dude, it's a shame too. The Clippers still went on to win 4 straight in this past series and 2 games without Kawhi, but dude, when you see like one of the best players in the game or anybody really in that matter go out with an injury like that, it sucks.
Yeah, it does. Especially a guy like Kawhi who's had injury problems before with his hamstrings, and they've always played him on rest, and hopefully he doesn't get hurt. But if I'm the Clippers, man, this could be your last shot to win something. Because if Kawhi's out now. If he's out for the rest of the playoffs and for most of next year, you're telling me they're going to run with Paul George or Reggie Jackson to run this team next year?
Well, okay. Well, there's something we're going to discuss later that might lead to certain things for them. But just this game in general, okay, Rudy Gobert is the most overrated player in the league. I'm sorry. I have to say it. There is no way this Clippers team that runs Nick Batum at the center, and what is he, like 6'6", 6'5", 6'7", something like that? How is Rudy Gobert only getting 10 rebounds? How? He's playing 42 minutes and got 10 rebounds.
And on top of that, the Jazz shoot a shit ton of threes.
Yeah, he can literally just be there he should have at least like 14, 15 rebounds a game.
Yes.
And I get that he's not like a huge scorer. I don't really care about his scoring numbers, but he's there for defense and rebounds.
Yeah, and he should have at least 12 to 15 a game.
Literally, I just don't get it. And he just got listed on an All-NBA team.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I don't have him as like a top 3 center in the league.
No.
Yeah, he's good at defense, but are we gonna like ignore the fact that he just disappears?
Yeah, I've always felt he's a little bit overrated. I know Shaq thinks he's a little overrated. I mean, he's been off on him before, but he's just a basic 10 and 10 guy to me. It's showing in the playoffs. He's basically an overpaid Mitchell Robinson.
Overpaid $200 million.
Yeah, overpaid.
Oh, overpaid, dude, it's disgusting.
Basically, and he gets a couple blocks once in a while. I mean, this guy ain't putting up 25 and 13. Okay, he's putting up like 12 and 10. This Rudy Gobert is prime DeAndre Jordan. Basically.
I would rather have DeAndre Jordan though, because he's more athletic.
That's what he is, really though. His play style is what DeAndre Jordan was for the Clippers. And this Jazz team is just like,
I think they need to move some things. And I think they also screwed themselves over by playing Mike Conley last night. I don't think Mike Conley should have played.
Yeah. What's good, GG? What's going on, buddy? We're talking about some Clippers Jazz debacle last night and what the Jazz should do next.
I think they need to get rid of Bogdanovich. He's literally, I don't think he fits the team well because all he does, I mean, yeah, he's a good shooter and all, but like he doesn't do anything else. Yeah, but like he doesn't even like go for rebounds or like anything.
That's their play style. They shoot a lot of corners.
I don't know. They need to find a ways to like implement more people involved or something. Like Jordan Clarkson was on fire last night. I think they should have just not played Conley and give them the more run to Clarkson and Ingles, and I think they would have had a better shot of winning this game.
I think if it wasn't Game 7, or sorry, not Game 7, was it Game 7?
No, it's Game 6.
A must win for the Jazz. I don't think they would have played Conley. But I mean, he kind of got thrown into the fire there. Donovan Mitchell played great. I think he put up almost 40 points last night.
39, 9, and 9.
So he's playing out of control. I mean, you can't really put it all on him. This is looking like Portland Part 2 to me. That's what it's looking like. When you have one guy who's showing up all the time, putting up 40 points a game in the playoffs, and they just can't find a way. What's up, Manny? This guy, Manny, new to the Pick City team. What's up, dude? Glad to have you on. Talking about some Clippers Jazz last night. Talking about how the Jazz are basically Portland Part 2 with Donovan Mitchell put up 40 points a game, and the Jazz still can get a win. What do you think's going through Mitchell's head right now?
I don't know. I think he might think that like it was because of the Conley injury that they couldn't go that far. So like next season they should be fine. But I don't know. I don't know what they do. I know it'd sound crazy for them to try to like. I don't know what they would do like trade wise. They're not going to trade Mitchell, no doubt. I don't see them. I don't see them or anybody wanting to take Gobert.
No, too much money. I literally think it's little moves like maybe Bogdanovich or you got your core, right? You got Conley coming back. He's a free agent, by the way. He's a free agent. He could be coming back. They got Clarkson, Mitchell, obviously, Gobert. That's your
Ingles.
That's your main core right there, right? Joe Ingles, the 50-year-old soccer team coach who's playing basketball. I mean, there's not much you can do with that team. Quinn Snyder's obviously an awesome coach. He's not going nowhere for right now. But I think they just bring the team back and hopefully they stay healthy. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much. I mean, we add some piece on the bench, but there's not much you can do with this team that kind of locked and loaded. And I don't know. So it's tough. And we'll get into the offseason in a little bit, but this Clippers team, and I don't think enough credit's being put on Ty Lue, which I'm usually the opposite here. I usually don't think coaches get too much credit. But Ty Lue's got this team ready to play, man, this past 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
He's putting out great defenses for this team. It's looking like fucking Doc Rivers. That's what he's looking like defensively. And he's putting out this great team that he's coming out the second half's hot. They're down 25 to the Jazz. Came out hot. I think the live line was like plus 1,200.
Imagine taking that.
When actually, side note, one of my VIP guys on my GoGetEmSports team actually took them for $200 at plus 1,200. But he made out pretty nice last night with that comeback. But it's just another team like the Jazz who blow a 25-point lead like this, and you're out of the playoffs. And it's crazy how many teams are blowing these leads. No lead is safe in this league, ever.
No, because we're built on the 3-ball, and the 3-ball just quickly disintegrates that.
Just blew a 20+1 lead. The Jazz blew one last night. The Bucks blew against the Nets with just KD on the floor. It's crazy. I mean, I hope to God that these Suns Clippers games coming up, this actually starting tomorrow, are not blowouts at any point, because I hate watching the blowout happen, and I even hate it more when this team blows the lead. I don't understand how you do that. These coaches call timeouts when the team go on 10 runs, and they just continue to blow it up. I don't know how you stop it. I don't know why the NBA is leaning towards that. I guess you said the 3-point line is just crazy right now, but I don't know, it's crazy. Leading Suns first half, depending on how line looks, public goes, Clips, Suns been practicing without Paul. We talked about this for the show with Shane and I don't know if Chris Paul's playing because of COVID.
He's not. He can't.
Okay, so he's out tomorrow. Obviously, Kawhi's going to be out tomorrow. I'm kind of like 50-50 right now. Suns don't really play well without Paul, but the Clippers are on no rest after a huge game last night. I'd probably go for maybe a total with the under. I don't know. It's kind of a weird game when the Clippers came off a 4-game winning streak but have 1 day's rest and they're back at it tomorrow. So that's a little weird. What do you see, Shane, in this series coming for Clips Suns?
I think this is setting up for the Suns to be in the finals, which is like something you would have never thought about saying a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I think Devin Booker is going to be a big problem for Paul George.
So do I.
And I think the Suns have way more depth.
The problem with Paul George is, right, there's so much pressure on him to score the ball that I think sometimes he gets distracted on defense where he's not fully into it. And this Devin Booker is gonna give him some problems, especially off screens and on the 3-point line. So it could be trouble for him. I think D-Book has to have a huge game tomorrow. Obviously, over 30 points he needs to score if Chris Paul's not playing. Miles Bridges needs to score. Ayton should have a huge game tomorrow.
I mean, Gobert did nothing with the small ball lineup, so I don't know.
Right, he hasn't really scored. Ayton is gonna have a huge game, I think.
It's weird. Like every team the Clippers have faced so far in the playoffs have done nothing with the size advantage. Mavericks, you got Boban Marjanovic and Kristaps Porzingis out there. You got Porzingis just sitting there as a shooting guard at the 3-point line, and then they're not feeding Boban enough, I don't think. And then you go to Rudy Gobert, who's literally just like a cone. He just kind of sits there.
Yeah, I mean,
not doing anything.
Ayton can. I think Ayton's more athletic than both those guys, being Marjanovic and Gobert. So maybe he can cause some problems for him. But I think he's have to have a huge game one. Those guys both need to have a huge game one. And everyone forgets like Cameron Payne's having a great playoffs. He's showing out, man.
He stepped up for when Chris Paul hasn't been there.
So I think the Suns. Everyone thinks, oh, Chris Paul, right? They're losing because of Chris Paul's not gonna be there. But Cameron Payne's been playing well, man. He's put up 20 a game when Chris Paul's out. So it's not like they're going with a third string point guard here. He's playing pretty well. So it'll be interesting to see what the final line is tomorrow. Before the game. Was it 5 right now?
It's 5 right now. Suns -5.
I think it drops to 3.5, 4 maybe. I think a lot of money is going to come in on the Clippers tonight. Just because that's the way the NBA has been going with public money on the points. And the Clippers are hot right now. They're playing well. So, all right. Next into it, we'll get right into Cardiac Kemba out.
All right, as a Celtics fan, how do you feel?
Okay, so I knew this was going to happen at some point, right? I knew that Kemba was going to part ways with the Celtics. They've been talking about it since the offseason basically started, or since their offseason started. Am I surprised on who they got back? Yes. Am I surprised they traded? No. So my point is on that, you bring back Big Al. Big Al, who's small Al because he can't rebound for shit. It's exciting, I guess. I mean, it's not like we got back Al Horford, but it's exciting that he's back. I mean, I like Al. I like him as a player. But you got rid of a hole to get a hole, right? Basically, you brought back Al Horford, fill a spot that you needed somewhat. I mean, if I'm the Celtics, I'm playing Al Horford at the 4, not the 5.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing.
I think Robert Williams plays the 5. I think they go.
And then Moses Brown's the backup.
Yeah, which is I think Thompson's gone. Moses Brown takes over for Thompson's spot. The only problem I see with Moses Brown is he can't jump for shit. He can get
blocks though.
Yeah, but his athletic ability is just not there. He can't jump, and he's like what 7? He's 7'2".
I don't know exactly. He also is a huge he gets in a lot of foul trouble when he plays. So that's something to keep. Unless the Celtics can kind of teach him not to be as aggressive on the defensive side of the ball like that.
Young big guy, he's against the foul trouble. We know that, but I think he'll be a rotation player. I think Taco's gone.
That's so upsetting.
I think he fills Taco's spot. I don't know. it's just so weird. Like I knew he was gonna get traded, but I just didn't know what to expect when we got for him, right? So obviously it's a salary dump, kind of, but you did
not really because you just took out Horford.
What do you got, buddy? I know you got.
Okay, so first of all, I think the Oklahoma City Thunder might be the greatest trading team ever with this. Except, besides the whole James Harden thing like years ago, recently they might be like the greatest trading team ever. They pick up another first round pick, which is like the 16th pick in this draft right now. You get Kemba Walker, who I don't think is going to play a single minute for this team. I think he's just going to get traded again.
Yeah.
Whether he goes to like Dallas, the Clippers, Lakers, Knicks, something like that.
Talked about Kemba before on the show. I think he's going to the fucking Knicks.
I could see the Knicks.
I don't know why I keep leaning towards the Knicks, but just like Knicks is what I think about when I see Kemba.
Because they need a point guard
from the Bronx, right? He grew up a Knicks fan. You need a point guard. And that'd be a great addition to a team who's up and coming, right? They still have Randall. Mitchell Robinson's coming back. RJ Barrett could use a facilitator, right? I mean, I think that could work. I mean, obviously that contract's huge. Don't know how they work around the money situation, but I think he's getting traded again. I think they're going to get more drafted.
Yeah, dude, the Thunder are going to turn Al Horford into 2 first-round picks.
Probably.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And then the money, whatever money,
mid-level first-round picks, but still 2
yeah. And they could have Houston's first-round pick if it falls out the top 4, which it easily could in the lottery. They have their own pick, which is top 5. They could have they have so many first-round picks. They could have 3 basketball teams.
They're gonna have a problem though, come draft time.
Well, I think they're loaded. Well, they're gonna get the young pieces and see who they can actually build around, and then take a bunch of those other picks, package 5 or 6 of them, get a superstar.
I think so.
But why? What else would they do? I don't think they want to end up like the Celtics.
Yeah, sometimes you have too many young guys, and I mean, obviously the Celtics have worked out with Tatum and Brown, but 2 looking like superstars. Those 2 have worked out, but they've had other situations where they have like Romeo Langford. Where are you then?
I don't know.
Nowhere. Taco, what are you doing? Nothing. Grant Williams.
I mean, Taco was like a 2nd-round pick, but who was that dude they just drafted? Aaron Nesmith? What?
He's okay. I totally get what you're saying. He's been playing like crap the first half season, play like garbage. The playoffs, he played pretty well. He played some tough D. His shot will come around. I still have a little bit of hope for him. But I don't love the pick in the beginning. I don't love it now, but I think he still has some potential in this team.
Do you think that, with the comment on the screen, that if the Thunder can make a move to try to get Cade Cunningham, would they, even though they have Shea?
I think it depends who has the first pick.
I think whoever has the first pick, they can make a very convincing offer.
I don't know. Who are the worst teams right now? Who was projected in the lottery?
Houston. Hold on, I'll pull up record. I'll pull up records. Houston, I don't think would take Cade Cunningham because they have John Wall right now, and Cade Cunningham's going to be a point guard in this league. The Pistons,
they take him.
They literally just drafted a point guard last year with the 7th overall pick. Then who else is up there? The Magic. The Magic aren't. Because I think they believe highly in Cole Anthony. So I don't know. And I think this trade by Boston just solidifies the fact that they're going to keep Evan Fournier. Whatever money they have left over is just going to go to him.
They have to, because that player exception of $17 million, if you don't sign him back, it's basically wasted.
So what do you think or want the Celtics to do at point guard? Are they just going to start Marcus Smart? Or
no, I think Marcus Smart gets dumped at the draft. to free up some cap space, and they go look at a guy like Kyle Lowry, Lonzo Ball in a signing trade, something between the $8 and $12 million range. The problem with that is Kyle Lowry is going to be really looked at by the Clippers.
The Heat's top priority right now is
the Mavericks. All those teams might have better situations than the Celtics. Obviously, with Mavericks, you get Luka. You still have Kristaps there. He needs to have a big year coming up, who could be traded as well. With the Lakers, you obviously have AD and LeBron already there. Clippers, you're going to have Paul George and Kawhi. I mean, those are two better situations than the Celtics. So I think Lonzo could be a great option. I think that could be a good signing trade. Maybe throw in Robert Williams in that trade to get Lonzo, because you're going to have to trade something to get something. But I mean, Chris Paul's out there, but you're not getting Chris Paul. Mike Conley, will he sign for $10 million? Do I want him?
Right.
I don't. Goran Dragic.
I don't think he'd sign for $10 million.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's gonna be tough to move some money around. So it's. Or do you start Marcus Smart at point guard?
I mean, that could just easily be it. Or do they just kick Marcus Smart to the bench and just start Payton Pritchard?
Is he ready though?
I don't know.
That's the question you have to ask yourself. It worries me that this team moved Kemba so quickly on the first offer they got. And what worries me also is Brad running this team like he's coaching it? Meaning, is he bringing back players that he likes personally just to bring them back that Danny wouldn't sign back? Meaning, when Al Horford left the Sixers, Danny Ainge would not pay him that amount of money, right? Mm-hmm. So is Brad becoming too much of a player's GM now and bringing back Al Horford just because he likes Al and what he brings to the team? Or is he really looking at this trade as Al Horford's here for one more year and we get rid of a buyout or a trade at deadline or something like that? I don't know.
I don't know. The Thunder were probably one of the last teams I would have thought would have traded for Kemba, but yeah. Well, it theoretically will be, but because I don't think Kemba's going to wear a Thunder jersey at all.
No. Again, he could be in a trade involving the Clippers, Lakers, the Mavericks, the Knicks. I mean, a lot of options where Kemba's going to go. I think he does not stay there. Like we've said, I don't think he ever puts on that jersey like Chris Paul did. I think if they decide not to trade him, he'll stay out and ask for a trade just because he's getting late in his career. He wants to try to compete for a ring. But the Sixers are set, man. I mean, the Thunder is set for the future, and it's gonna be crazy to watch what happens this draft. I love the draft. This is gonna be even crazier because of all these trades are gonna happen, especially with the Thunder. They have a solid young team right now with I'm drawing a blank. Shea and Dort, who came out this year looking good. So there's two guys you can build around somewhat. I think Dort's more of like a six-man type of player, but you already have one centerpiece in Shea. I think you go get at least one star in the trade market. Don't know who that is at any point. I've never even thought about it yet. But some maybe bad team who wants to get rid of a player who needs draft picks. I mean, you can go on the list and see what that is. Maybe they go out and get Kristaps.
I'm going to mention something. Just hear me out, because there's been reports of some things happening. Apparently, Zion and his family want out of New Orleans. What if the Thunder, with all these picks, go make a move for Zion, pair Zion with Shea and Kemba? You have that as your maybe they keep Kemba or they use Kemba in the trade. But you either have Shea and Zion or Shea, Zion, and Kemba. You can find a big man somewhere, like a cheap one, or you I don't know what you do with the Thunder as a big man.
I personally think Zion wants to go to a big city. He wants to be in New York. He wants to be in LA. He wants to be in Miami. Something in that realm of city life. When he went to New Orleans, I said, "Man, that's not a fit for him. He's not going to be there long term." And you're seeing the same situation with Dallas now with Luka. Does he want to be there long term? Does he want to be there for the rest of his career like Dirk did? So it's going to be weird. This offseason is going to be crazy, I think, with so many moves happening. D-Lil maybe get moved. Zion.
Nah.
You got the Thunder with all the trades. Celtics will make another move, guaranteed coming soon. What do the Clippers do with Paul George? Lakers, what do they do at point guard and their bench situation? Coaching moves. There's so much to talk about. And I think this offseason is going to be one of the craziest ones since – I mean, obviously whenever LeBron is on the move, it's crazy. But this is going to be nuts. Again, no one talks about this. The Warriors, dude. Klay Thompson coming back next year. You got Curry, Klay. Do they make any moves at center? Do they keep
James
Wiseman there to keep him there? Or do they move him for another big piece? It's going to be crazy. I think there's a lot of moves coming. The Celtics did bring back Chauncey for another interview, and two other people, assistant coaches for the Bucks and the Nets, I think.
I think so, yeah. I think that's I know the Bucks is one for sure.
So those are the top three, I think. Those are the three favorites going into the final interview process.
I know you want Chauncey Billups.
I'll take Chauncey. I think he's got a lot of experience. He's got a winning mentality with the Pistons. He's with the Clippers right now behind Ty Lue. He's been around plenty of winning individuals like Doc and Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace, all those guys. And then he's a great leader. I seen like 2 years ago that people want him as a GM. Like Cleveland Cavaliers wanted him to be their GM. He said no. So I think he's a great mind. I think him and Brad will work good together. I think he's a great players manager or coach. Sorry. I think he'll work great with Tatum and Brown. And be there for him as maybe Brad Stevens wasn't at most. What do you think of Chauncey becoming the next head coach?
I mean, he'd be fine as a coach. I don't know. Maybe he'd just be like Steve Nash, kind of, but like without as many like players around him. Cool. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on him, really, because there's no like prior experience to him being a coach. Like I didn't have an opinion when Steve Nash got signed.
Yeah. I see more players becoming head coaches. I'm interested in where Jason Kidd goes. I think with that Dallas job opening up, he could go there. I know Luke. You said Luka loves him. He's met him before, so they have a good relationship. I think he might go there now. It's been kind of quiet of where he's going. Where do you see Rick Carlisle going? Because he said that he's not done coaching yet.
Well, I only see like one team that would take him, and that's the Wizards. That's the only team I could see him going to.
What happens if Doc loses Game 7?
He stays in Philadelphia. There's no. I think more so Ben Simmons is on the move than Doc Rivers. I don't think Ben Simmons fits with this team or what this team wants to do.
Yeah, they literally had to sit him the last 5 minutes of the game last night just so they wouldn't get fouled.
Literally, in the last game the Hawks won, they literally purposely were fouling Ben Simmons just to get him to the free throw line because they knew he would miss.
Yeah.
Like I think he had one of the worst percentages shooting from the line, like with certain amount of attempts, like of all time. Like I think it was like second worst all time. It's like 30-something%. Crazy. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. What do they do though? Where do they ship Ben?
Any team that wants a point guard. Any team.
Any team?
Any team that want. Well, what are you giving up? And first of all, that's. Yeah, what are you gonna? You got to give up Brown or Tatum. So good luck with that.
No, not happening. So yeah, like I said, it's gonna be crazy off season for NBA. I think Celtics, man, like more moves coming up. Obviously, they have a coaching decision happening. Need a point guard. Need to solidify that bench. I see Marcus Smart getting traded. Don't know what for. Maybe a lottery pick at some sort. Maybe I don't know. Maybe for a point guard. We don't know.
I think he
Wait.
stays.
Anything
I
else?
think he might be yours.
We got some free picks for you guys.
No, I think that's about it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Shout out to. I know we talked about the Jazz game earlier, but shout out to Terrence Mann for just stepping up to Kawhi, being out.
Last night.
34, 35 points, something like that. Insane.
He saved Paul George's ass last night.
I wouldn't say that. Paul George still played well. Paul George still had like 30.
Yeah. All right, Shane. Getting some free picks here. What do you got for the boys?
All right. I already know you're gonna think this first one is controversial, but I believe firmly in the Bucks tonight. I think the Bucks. This is gonna make a huge. This is a statement game for whoever wins. For Steve Nash coming in as a rookie coach, taking a team to the conference finals without two of your best three players, basically, because Harden's not himself right now. Or the Bucks can take down this like all-star team basically in the Nets in 7 games. And I think whoever they match up against, whether it be the Hawks or the Sixers, I like the Bucks' chances in that too.
Okay. I'm actually going on the baseball diamond tonight, and it kicks off in about 15 minutes, so you got some time to put it in, lock it in for you guys watching. I'm taking the Oakland A's today. And I have some analysis for you on why I'm doing that. Ready, Shane? Ready to get your knowledge story?
You already know that I hate the Yankees right now, even though they're my favorite team. So go ahead.
All right. So the A's have Chris. I think it's Bassett throwing tonight. I think it's how you say the last name. Actually, this afternoon in about 15 minutes. He's 7-2 on the year with a sub-3.5 ERA. He's pitching great. The A's haven't lost a road start made by him all year this year. They have not lost a road start made by Chris Bassett. So let's ride with that. I'm riding with that. Domingo, Herman's in the mound tonight at home. Gives up the long ball pretty well at home with that short porch and right. The A's are 9th in the league in home runs. I think they crush them today. I'm taking the A's at plus 105. Let's get a little extra juice on that. Plus 105. Take the A's to win today against the Yankees at 105 Eastern time. 15 minutes to the first pitch. All right. Shane, anything else, boys?
This is for tomorrow. If you want to take my opinion for what it is, I'm taking a sharp lean on that Suns -5. They've had so much rest and time to prepare for this series. Even without Chris Paul, I think they can handle the Clippers. The Clippers have started 0-2 in their first 2 series in the playoffs.
Yep.
They've shown they don't really come up to the greatest of starts in series. And they're just coming off of playing last night where they had to play against a somewhat physical Jazz team. So I'm liking Suns -5 right now. And if the line even gets lower than that, then that just gives you more incentive to take them.
Yep. I'm going with that. I have a guy shot for that game too. I'm going to take the under 222 in that game. I think both teams are coming out. I mean, the Suns are coming out a little rusty. I think the Clippers come out a little tired from last night. So I said the under 222. I bought the half point to make it -120. But I love that pick as well. I don't see either team scoring over 110 tomorrow. So
I can see it.
I don't see Suns scoring that much. I think Devin Booker scores about 30, and the rest of the team kind of slows down a little bit. Maybe Aiden scores about 18, 20 points. That's 50 right there. I mean, do they find another 60 points out of their team? Tough. Clippers with Paul George. If he has a huge game, good for him. I don't think he comes out strong tomorrow. So, my guy GG is on the Nets tonight. He's on the Suns first half tomorrow. And he likes my under pick. So, Shane, you're screwed.
What do you mean? I just took the Suns -5. I didn't take anything about their over-under.
You're going to be wrong. It's going under tomorrow. And I think the Clippers win tomorrow.
You think the Clippers win tomorrow?
I do. Yep. All right. On that note, we're gonna wrap it up. Good show today, Shane. A lot of talk. Good offseason talk. We'll have more next week, next Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Hop back in with us. We'll have some free picks for you guys. Probably some more offseason talk for NBA. I think something's making a move again, and we'll see.
Of course.
Peace.
See ya.